Hey, it's P. Let's get into it. In this video, we're going to talk about why Joe Rogan avoids Bitcoin discussions on his podcast and specifically avoids having a high-profile Bitcoiner on as a guest. It's fucking infuriating. Could it be he just doesn't understand it and so isn't comfortable giving his opinion on it? Or could it have more to do with the broader crypto industry and the noise it inevitably brings with it? Let's find out. Joe Rogan, the biggest podcaster on the planet with an average of 11 million views per episode, recently had famous rapper Post Malone on, and the discussion went to Central Bank Digital Currencies. Let's roll the clip.
So how do you feel about the government's digital currency that they're working on?
No fucking way. No way. That's what I think. I think that's checkmate. That's game over.
That is fucking checkmate.
Because if they apply that to a social credit score, if they decide somehow or another that you need some social credit score system and it's for the benefit of society, and they outline that they can, you know, track your behavior and your tweets and all your things, and you get a score. And if
already doing that, they just haven't released the fucking report cards.
Well, they don't have the kind of freedom that they like.
They didn't send the report cards home to the parents yet.
Right.
Everything is already imprinted. Everything is already tracked. Everything is already there.
But
we
they
just
can't,
haven't given a
They just can't control
to
you to the same extent that they would like. And what they would like to do is to be able to strip you of your money and to be able to lock you down and then make sure that you comply so that all the other people also comply because they don't want to be stripped of their money. They don't want everything they work for just be taken away instantly overnight and be powerless. No one to call. No one's going to answer your phone. They just decided you fucked up and the rules are the rules. And so then where does that money go? Who takes your money? Who takes... And that's what things, when people start profiting off of confiscating people's digital currency, it's going to be a real fucking problem.
Well, it's not all fucking currency is digital.
Yeah, but the idea of them controlling all of the money.
And it's all unilateral. Yeah. It's all the same fucking thing.
It's all the same fucking thing.
That's a problem. And here's the problem, I think, is that people are going to do it due to convenience of it.
Yeah.
As Bitcoiners, we watch that clip and can't help but shake our heads in frustration. Preston Pish summed it up perfectly, and he said, all that talk and neither one of them say the word Bitcoin. Bitcoiners have been yelling about this forever. It's high time a real Bitcoiner clawed their way onto Joe Rogan and orange-pilled the shit out of him. To be clear, this definitely isn't the first time Bitcoin has come up on the show. In fact, here's a montage of some of the most memorable moments.
Maybe Bitcoin's going to grow up. Maybe Bitcoin's a little baby that doesn't know shit now, but one day Bitcoin's going to grow up and realize, you know what? There's a better way. Real investment in Bitcoin it's very fascinating to me because if more people were interested in doing it and it eventually spread through the entire country, if everybody just decided to do it, if they could figure out how to make it more secure and better than it is now, which just seems like they would be able to. I have a lot of hope for cryptocurrencies. I really do. I don't know too much about them, but Bitcoin seems to be the one, in the Ethereum, the ones that the people who are in the know talk about the most. It's not a good place for us, but maybe it's a good place for the universe. Maybe
Do you invest in
Bitcoin? For life.
Do you invest in Bitcoin?
I've got some Bitcoin.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think of Bitcoin the same way I think about the early internet. I think they didn't see it coming, and now it's a viable form of currency. You can actually buy things with it. And I think the government is freaking out. I think what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to implement a digital currency, a centralized digital currency that they can control.
Yeah.
What's scary about that is they could say, Khalil, you know, we've looked at, you know, your behavior online, and you have some marks against you.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to be able to buy this.
Yeah.
Or you can only buy staples. You can't. You know, you're going to buy food and shelter, but we're not going to allow you to travel.
Yeah.
Because that could be a
scary.
real thing where they could literally limit what you spend your money on. Yeah. I don't understand that whole world of crypto because there's so many of them now. Bitcoin, at least to me, was sort of semi-tangible. Yeah. It's like, oh, there's this thing. There's a limited amount of them. This guy who made it is like this mysterious fellow, you know, Satoshi Nakamoto, right? That's his name?
Nakamoto.
Right. Satoshi Nakamoto. Nobody knows who he is.
Right.
It's wild. It's all the speculation. But he developed this currency, this cryptocurrency, and it's basically, that's the king of cryptos. Wouldn't you say Bitcoin is the king?
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure.
The most popular.
Right. And the original big one, right? Like, yeah.
Made sense. It was like sort of curing a lot of the problems we have with centralized currency and the federal government controlling everything and fucking inflation, all this shit. There's only a certain amount of those. Forever, and ever, and ever, and ever. But then a bunch of them pop up, right? Now you got How many cryptos do they have?
At one point, some of them were being named after animals. Dog coin, Dodge coin, dolphin coin. I don't even remember.
Yeah. Wasn't the doggy coin, the Doge coin?
Started as a joke,
A joke. And now it's worth fucking trillions of dollars or something.
Well, not anymore. Yeah.
Oh, not anymore?
Yeah, I think it's all kind of tanked.
It's all wild.
Did you invest in crypto?
No. I have a little bit of Bitcoin. Very little. But it's like, I watch it go up, I watch it go down. I'm like, oh. What do you do with that?
Okay. So it's come up on several occasions, and each time he expresses interest and is broadly supportive of Bitcoin, even admitting that he owns some. But he also admits he doesn't know enough about it. Side note, I love the humility, Joe. Great job. The thing is, it's notable that he hasn't had a prominent Bitcoiner on since way back in 2016 when he had Andreas Antonopoulos on. Jimmy Song put it perfectly in one of his recent tweets, which I will take the liberty of reading for you now, verbatim. Joe Rogan has sidestepped Bitcoin discussions for the past 7 years, despite previously hosting Andreas Antonopoulos on multiple times. What's stopping him from inviting more Bitcoin enthusiasts? At the heart of it, Rogan simply may not be interested. Delving into Bitcoin discussions means wading into the relentless debates between Bitcoin and altcoin supporters. Every podcaster who touches on Bitcoin faces the pressure of giving equal time to altcoin enthusiasts. This tug of war is daunting, and Rogan likely prefers to sidestep it. Consider the case of Lex Fridman, who has faced criticism from both sides for trying to strike a balance. It's why Joe Rogan doesn't have anyone on to discuss abortion, for example. It's a controversial topic, and anyone you have on will destroy your standing with the segment that disagrees with you. Yet Joe Rogan is an outspoken critic of fiat money, frequently discussing its flaws and potentials for corruption. He acknowledges the problems with central bank digital currencies and even mentions Bitcoin in these contexts. His audience likely wants him to have guests on about this topic, and this is why he had Antonopoulos on before 2017. But the Bitcoin narrative became more complex around 2017 with the rise of venture capitalists and altcoin advocacy, the so-called Scambrian explosion. Rogan's ignoring of Bitcoin is the result of this shift. He has a knack for sensing underlying issues, which has undoubtedly contributed to his podcasting success. Yet Rogan's understanding of Bitcoin remains superficial. Until he fully grasps how it fixes the problem he sees, it's unlikely he'll feature a dedicated Bitcoin guest. While figures like Jack Dorsey and Adam Curry have tried to steer the conversation towards Bitcoin, Rogan refused to take the bait. It'll take a larger level of inflation or economic destruction for him to delve into this topic. The controversy will remain on Bitcoin versus altcoins, and that's not something he'll be able to avoid. He needs more conviction before he'll talk about it on his show, and that's not something he has yet. So instead of bullying him into having a guest on, just point out the obvious. Fiat money is the cause of a lot of the societal degeneration. Whether he gets it now or later is up to him. Corey Clipson put a bow on it when he said crypto grifters like Andreessen Horowitz create so much noise that people like Rogan who are philosophically aligned with Bitcoin and understand it still can't advocate for it. So, what do you think? Is Joe shying away from talking about Bitcoin because of the shitcoin noise? Or is he just ignorant? If you had your druthers, which Bitcoiner would you select to finally orange pill the shit out of Joe Rogan and his massive audience? Leave a comment with your vote, like this video, and subscribe, or my chickens will peck you to death. That's a promise.